Oh my god, please hook into the gate. Thank you, OBS. In the top left corner of Simulacrum, as the Teal Zerg. From Team Gosu, it's Skitter. And in the bottom right, as the Red Terran, it's Rathorne. Skitter's sending out his overlords to make sure there's no proxies going down, and there's not going to be proxies going down, because I'm going to tell you exactly what this man is going to do. This man is going to produce like 2 Marines off of a barracks. He's going to go into Hellions. He's going to get up a second CC. He's going to build a Banshee, and then he's going to go into Mech. At about 7:30, he's going to push across the map, and he's going to kill the Zerg. That's how Rathorne plays this game. Now, what Skitter needs to do is pick Wrath apart. He needs to cheese. He needs to go into Muta. He needs to make the game as weird and as uncomfortable as possible for the Terran. Wrath is a Masters 3 Risen competitive player. Skitter is sitting in the Diamond League, reppin' Team Gosu. And I think he has the right idea with this early pool. It's just 2 lings to start, though. And Wrath is building a CC on the high ground. Okay, there's 4 lings. But I feel like if you're going to do this early pool build, you really need to stack your larva so you can get 6 lings out right away. See how open this wall is? The lings would be hitting right about now had Skitter stacked the larva, but fortunately he didn't. So there's the supply depot, and there's the add-on from Wrath, and Skitter just can't get in now. He's going to be stuck outside going, "Let me in! Let me in!" Wrath's even making the orbital before he moves this out. And now Skitter's going to be a little bit behind. He spent larva early on lings, which means those weren't drones, which means they weren't mining. Which means Skitter didn't have money for more drones. Skitter did sneak out a 3rd already, so that's going to be fine. Wrath is moving to wall off his front, as well as land his CC. Skitter plants a ling underneath the CC location, so he is going to get a delay here. Nicely played from the Teal Zerg. Wrath. It's quick on the draw, though. Sends out his Hellions and roasts those Zerglings. Banshee coming out here in the main for Wrath. It's about halfway done. There's Cloak on the way as well. Remember when I said everything that Rathorne was about to do before he did it? That's right. That's right. I know my players. I study up. Skitter almost got a delay on that supply depot, which would have supply blocked Wrath. Wrath's able to salvage it. And Skitter's got to be thinking about a 2nd and 3rd gas. He's got to be thinking about his next tech, because he hasn't dropped a lair, he hasn't dropped a Baneling nest, and that's no good. Worker count's pretty even here as well. I think Skitter wants to be racing up to like 45 workers. There's 41. And then getting up a defense force. Pay no mind to Nightbot. He's drunk. I need to update the bracket thing on the page. Oh no, the Queen Defense Force is melting for Skitter. This Hellbat Banshee is devastating. There's nothing left to defend. There's actually nothing left. Skitter's going for a Roachborn. He does have quite a bank. But they're going to be... No. 26 Lings is not what you want. 26 Lings will do nothing against this split between 3 bases. There's 6 Roaches as well, but a lot more of this larva could have been Roaches. Rip that Queen. 15 drones go down to the Banshee Hellbat aggression. Skitter's going on the counterattack. Wrath is pulling the Banshees back home. I feel like he could have gotten some stutter step damage off on the Roaches, but he didn't. The Lings make it in. Skitter gets a surround on the hell. Oh, no, not quite a surround. Those boys are slippy slidey. And this is decent SCV damage from Skitter, actually. That was some killer instinct to go across the map like this, and Rathorne played it a little bit too scared. He had so many Banshees in the air. He could have stopped these Roaches from ever reaching his base. Unfortunately, Skitter moved commanded into the Hellbat, so he wasn't able to pick off any more SCVs, but 13 is a decent haul. Unfortunately, Rathorne established a third while this was happening, and he is going to morph that third into a planetary. I have a common phrase. 2 types of people make their third into a planetary. There's Gold League players and also Rathorne, right? Those are the 2 types of people that do this. The cloaked Banshee force is, well, very cloaked, very Banshee-like, and moving out in force. This is way too early of a cloak from Wrath. I guess he might be afraid of Muta, but as much energy is still left on these, there's quite a bit of waste here. Actually, he's wasting a lot of energy at this point. Oh my god, he's just sitting it out here cloaked? Okay, he's gonna kill off a lot of the queens. He kills off most of the queens. But yeah, there's Cloak gone off 1 Banshee, Cloak off a 2nd. It doesn't matter. There's enough here to kill the 3rd, and Skitter's dead. Skitter's literally dead. Lurker Den finishing up in the main for Skitter. One Banshee falls. And here comes the mech push. Remember when I said between 7:30 and 9:30 Wrath is going to push out? Yeah, well, the Zerg aggression delayed it, and here's that push. This is unstoppable. This is, once you let a Terran get to this point, and you've taken damage from the Banshees, there's nothing you can do. And this is going to hurt my Zerg soul to watch. Wrath has SCVs out in front tanking some of this damage. The Lings literally get deleted off the screen in a couple frames. Down go the Roaches. GG is called. In the top right corner of Everdream, as the teal Zerg, it's Skitter. And in the bottom left, as the red Terran, it's Rathorne. Wrath took game number 1. Skitter had a pretty good thing going on. I think what really kind of screwed him over was, first of all, a little bit of a lackluster defense against the Banshee counterattack of Wrath, and secondly, move commanding those final couple rushes into the Hellbats instead of engaging them straight up, and taking out a couple more SCVs. Rathorne is going to do the exact same thing that Rathorne does every game, and it's up to Skitter to stop it. This time he's not going for a pull first. I don't think the problem in the previous game was that Skitter went pull first. I think the problem was he didn't stack his larva, so he couldn't get 6 lings out right away, and he couldn't get inside the wall of Rathorne. But, big question is, will Rathorne take the Series 2-0 and move up to the winner's bracket? Or will Skitter say that he's been a Rathorne in his side for way too long? Am I right? Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Second CC going down for Wrath. This time he's going to throw it on the low ground, given that he didn't scout a pull first build. Of course, we have the factory going down on the high ground. There's the completed wall off. This time there doesn't need to be an add-on on the wall. He can just keep the whole barracks here. That's about what it's good for our Rathorne player. He's like, yeah, no, I can use it as a paperweight, or I can use it as part of the wall off. I don't care if it dies. What do you use a barracks for past the 2-minute mark? It's obsolete. Did Wrath not send out a Reaper? Wrath didn't send out a Reaper. That's a bold move there, Cotton. Oh, because he's going for a Ghost Academy. Okay. Alright, this is a little bit different. This is the second type of build that Rathorne can do. And this is where he gets Ghosts and also Hellions and Banshees. It's really... Now, I don't want to... I'm memeing here pretty hard. It kind of falls flat when you're kind of a little bit overextended, but also you don't have Revolt there to laugh at all the random things that come out of your mouth. But Rathorne, yes, he does very similar things every game. He makes very slight adjustments in his build based on the player he's playing. He keeps it simple, stupid, or KISS. Wow, I could have framed that idea better, but he uses the KISS method, which is keep it simple, stupid. He has his build, he knows what he wants to do, and he makes slight variations on it. And that's really his strength as a player. It's really, really, really good, actually. It's a great idea. StarCraft is an incredibly difficult game. Okay, this is really annoying that these Hellions can't figure out where they want to be positioned on the map. No. Final. No. Stop it. Skitter scouted this. This is really hard to hold, actually. He is going for a Baneling Nest, so he's on the right track, but like I was saying, Wrath's basic idea is he gets up a bunch of mech and specialist units. He goes for a timing push, and then he goes for a second timing to deal damage, and then he goes for a second timing push to kill his opponent. And that's Rathorne. The question is, how do you stop it? How do you stop it as the opposing player? Because Wrath knows what he's doing. He's very good at what he does. And it's inevitable. It's like fighting Thanos, man. Like, he knows what you're gonna do. He's just gonna break you with brute force. And you have to really be on top of things to take him down. Losing 8 lings is not really being on top of things. Skitter is coming in from multiple angles, but some of these lings are kind of lost. Oh no, he wasn't going first around. He was just pathing back home, I guess. Yeah, there isn't actually enough to defend here for the Zerg. This third base is dead once again. No, 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 wait. This isn't enough. Skitter needed to wait for more units. He has 24 Zerglings on the way. Had he waited for those 24 Zerglings, let the third die, and then gone in with the Ling Bane that he had, this would be a different situation. But right now, the third is going to fall. 6 Lings will be killed as they pop out of their eggs, so that's going to be 18 Zerglings and a few Queens, as well as like 1 Spine Crawler to defend for the Zerg. Snipes on the Queens, take him down. Actually, Wrath overextended. He's going to lose all these ghosts. That's huge. It's absolutely massive. That's so much money gone for the Terran. But that's okay. Wrath has a third ready to move out to location. And while Skitter will get his Lings and on top of it, these 2 Hellions can actually, if microed correctly, take care of this many Lings, especially with the ghosts behind them. Don't know about morphing them into Hellbats and then walking them very slowly over to the third. These Banelings will actually be morphed by the time they reach the third. Oh, well, Skitter threw away his Lings. We've got some Alpha X snipers over here, taking out the Banelings one by one, but this is about to become that, like, SC2 Micromaster level, where you have to snipe, like, 30 Banelings in 5 seconds. Wrath better have that rapid fire handy. He's once again morphing his third into his planetary. That's kind of his signature move here. Actually, these units are hugely vulnerable if Skitter moves in now. Unfortunately, he can't see this due to the fog of war. But, like, if he rolls toward the Nat, and then... Oh, no, the tank's moving out. Well... Oh, there's the tank siege, and now Skitter can't go in. That could have won Skitter the game right there. Skitter's kind of scouting in here. Oh, there's 2 siege tanks. This is, of all the times in this game he could have rolled in, this was the worst timeline. 0 SCVs went down to those Banelings. Now they are very softened up, but there is no way that Skitter is ever breaking in here ever for at least the next 2 minutes. Skitter did get a 4th base up. He is kind of on top of economy. But like I said in the beginning, Rathorne is inevitable. He's got quite the army out already, and he's producing siege tanks 3 at a time. Now, if Skitter were going Mutalisk, that kind of changes things. This entire army is vulnerable to Muta. Now, these ghosts can get sniped off, but in their current positioning, Muta can just pick these guys off one at a time, no problem, before the snipes can even get done. Blue Flame Hellions crashing in, making the Zerg situation worse. 13, 15 drones go down, 16, 17, and another one. And they eat a couple Baneling hits, which actually adds value to them. Because the Hydra Queen could have cleaned them up just as easily as the Banelings, but... Lurker Den's about to pop for Skitter. 4th base is already droned up a little bit, but there's no gases on it, so it's not really achieving the value that the Zerg super wants. And there's no Hive Tech on the way, which is also pretty big. This Hive Tech is super late, And here comes the death push from Rathorne. This Ghost could have sniped down the Queens, but yeah, the squad behind it is going to finish the Queens off. Down goes the Spine. Lings come in from every angle. They are going to go down. Tanks are leapfrogging forward, and what answer does Skitter have to this? Skitter, instead of Muta, instead of Swarm Host, instead of Roach Ravager, went into Hydra. The number one thing that is countered by siege tanks, which is what Rathorne made. Okay, he was going into Lurkers. This is a little bit high IQ, but the Lurkers need to burrow! Oh my god, the Lurkers didn't burrow! And there's a scan, and now the Lurker plays dead. A lot of the Hellbats are cleaned up, but it really doesn't matter. There's full energy ghosts here. So many tanks are in the back. Skitter is hanging on with everything he can.